who am I and how do I see myself? That's a really, well, it's an ongoing exploration and changes on a almost daily basis, which I find fascinating and which I am also hold more lightly than I used to. I think the most important thing to me is connection. And in a way, I find myself in connection. And more I find it by listening rather than by talking. I recognised probably only a few years ago how much I wanted to be the person that had the idea or could make the contribution to a conversation. I was often in, say, circles I've sat in or other places of sharing. I'd be the first one to want to jump in with some relevant story to the question that had been asked. And more now I want to be the person near the end of the sharing process. I want to be in the listening space. And I'm trying more and more to listen from a place where my stories and my ideas don't come in as I'm doing that listening process. So really trying to listen from an openness where it's not about, oh, I've got something I can add to that, or I've got a story that might, all those aspects, but continuing just to stay open and see what keeps turning up. And what's really showed up the power of this for me recently is living in Italy now and often being in spaces where I'm listening to a foreign language and I really have to concentrate. As soon as I get caught up in my own thoughts about what someone's said, I'll suddenly realise I haven't understood the next 5 or 6 sentences because I've been off in my own thoughts. And I'm thinking, well, if this applies really clearly because I'm listening to Italian, how often do I do that when I'm listening to English? So that's one of the things that I think has always been a strength for me, but has become more and more a strength, that ability to just listen and give people a space to share whatever's alive without wanting to put my input into it. So really just creating that space, and that's a really commonly used term these days, but it creates a place of safety for people, and that's a reflection that I've had quite a lot, that's something that I can actually bring, that sense of safety and space where people can just share. I've had numerous conversations with often people I've only met for the first time where people have said, wow, I've never told that to anyone else. And I love hearing that, not from what it says about me, but because they're actually discovering another part of themselves or letting go of something that's restrained them from being in that place. I don't know where the basis from that came from. I'm sure my family background created some of that because I have no recollection, and I don't think there are hidden anywhere deeply any big traumas in my life. Lots of little things that I've had to unravel over time, but nothing that really just belted me when I was a child. I had a really simple, easy, flowing childhood, probably up until my teens. And somewhere in there, I have this really deep-centered belief. Well, it's deeper than a belief. It's more a knowing that life is beautiful. And I lost that through my teenage years and took on a lot of other people's opinions about the world. And now I'm gradually peeling away those and getting back to what I feel is more my truth of my experience of life. And really the thing I love about working with people is that I get to see them finding those pieces of life that are beautiful, that they've just been missing, and those simple things that can turn up. And they are usually simple, they're not complex things that have to happen, a whole lot of arrangements of things there. Sunsets, birds singing, wind blowing in the trees, very simple things that are just incredibly beautiful. And when I see people finding those and how that opens them up, that there's nothing better for me.